This is definitely one of my favourite books. This is huge, and as I said before, I'm not a big reader, but this is The Art of Star Trek. This is Judith and Garfield Reed Stevens with Herman Zimmerman doing an introduction. I'm going to show you this. This is a brilliant book. Hi guys, Ralph here. So with Book Club today, we have The Art of Star Trek. This is... there are two pictures of the original Enterprise which aren't part of canon or are in an episode. This picture is one of them. It's the Enterprise blasting asteroids. The detail is amazing. I do the reviews on the Ships of the Line calendars. They're all on my channel somewhere. Just search for them, Ships of the Line. You'll easily find all of them. The other one as well is the Enterprise going over a pool. And the top is, I think the top is the Reefer Enterprise. The reflection is the original 1701. But the artwork on that, I bloody love that. It's absolutely brilliant. So, these were, don't show the price. Actually, it's got a dust cover on as well, which is really nice with this time of year. Can display it like that if you want. I do like the artwork, but yeah. I've seen one of these go for £3 on eBay. Don't understand why. They were £35 originally. Go buy it. They are brilliant. So let's hope we don't have any problems with any reflections, which we do. So we have concept of the Andrew Probert Enterprise D. Very low section there, and I hate the way that the lines in the bottom there. Do apologise with all their Enterprises there, and I need to prop this up a little. So get rid of reflections. There we go. It's a little better. The pole filter is working fine. So they're actual ones from the show anyway. But this is a very big book. This is a very detailed book, and it's showing you stuff from the original series, the movies, acknowledgements. That looks like it's on a stick. I'd say that's being gloop on a stick. But there's so much artwork. This goes up to, that's obviously generations with stellar cartography, planning of that, how it might have looked, different designs. Yeah, the future. Yeah, I'll show you the process. You've made a model there, and then we've made it into reality. It's insane. The future of our living room, Star Trek on television. Totally new Enterprise, yes. This is, I don't think I can film all of this slow enough. We have a model there of the Daedalus, or is it a Horizon? I think it's a Horizon, but it's still a Daedalus class. I just realised something. The base on there, I've done exactly the same with my Elon Musk Enterprise D. Put a com badge on there. So we have concept art from Matt Jeffries of the Enterprise, should have been. Different ready room. Phases. This is the Awa Chang gallery. So he has some original props there. These are the Voyagers. These are, like I said, there is too much in this book for me to go through now. Set design, original Dr. Mbenga. Zephram Cochrane. Okay, and Spock. Different lighting for the room, so they wouldn't have painted the walls, they would have lit the walls, and I do like that. Illusions of reality. Matte paintings and walking in front of them. So, yeah, there would have been kind of uniforms, outfits, costumes, all sorts. Getting into character, Spock having his eyebrows done. They actually will have done, won't they? So they'd actually shave them off and put them on, which, fine, they do grow back. Finished prop. Phasers, medical equipment, possibly. Spock's brain thing. Chapter 2, or sorry, Chapter 3 is Take 2, which is the cartoon. It was nice they did the cartoon. Nice that they all came back for the voices. And Lieutenant Eric's. Here he is. I'm hoping we're going to see a live action one of those. Is it Tridosian in the new series of Is it Strange New World? Yeah, it is Strange New World Series 3. Series that never was, Phase 2. So we've just gone back on the last one, which was the Lost Scripts, and a lot of them were supposed to be for Phase 2. The ship itself as well, the Enterprise, was meant to be so much different. If you ever saw the concept arts videos for Star Trek Discovery, it was very similar to that. They changed it a lot. So, yeah, that was very, very similar to what the Discovery was meant to be, but they changed it. I mean, a big flat hull. I have a model I got from a YouTube, well, a friend who 3D printed a lot of stuff, and I have not got around to making them yet, and that is one of them, because Eaglemoss never did that. They teased us with Planet of the Titans script there, not script, the model that they were going to do for us, and they never did. Never, ever did. But I think they must have thought, well, that's not good enough, and maybe that's definitely not, and you know what, copy that bloody thing, or one of these things. That's a lot longer than that one, but you could have done a model of that one easily. But they didn't. So there, Rob McQuarrie's artwork, another path not taken, 2 lifts at the back. See, this shows you on here as well, the Enterprise was in the make of, they've got the new nacelles, or you got the Phase 2 nacelles, you got the secondary hull, which they actually did use, and then the original series, almost original series, saucer section there, but with 2 lifts on there anyway. More concept art there. We did have that ship in the collection. Light in a Bottle, Next Generation. Lots of things. The Next Generation, that bridge would have been amazing if it'd been like that. Been on 2 levels. You got a balcony at the top. You standard, well, you got a bench at the front, and around bang behind you've got a console where it could go to. Would have been amazing, a bridge that size. Not practical at all. Oh, by the way, if you play Star Trek Online and you see one of these parked next to you in a TFO or a PvP, then yeah, you're going to be all right. Weapons that are ridiculous. Cool concept art, absolutely amazing concept art. The bridge as it was. The plaque there where no man has gone, or no one has gone before. More rooms, engineering. Shuttle Bay, we never really saw that. It would have been better if they fleshed that out a bit more. Romulan ships. Docked at Starbase 1. Or Starbase, whichever one that was. Starbase 74 from 110, 1001. Thank you. Uniforms. And there's a scant. There's a lovely scant. A man wearing a dress, which is fine, because it's the 24th century. Why wouldn't we wear dresses? It's nice and light and airy. So, Ferengi, new Klingons almost, but they changed them to be, yeah, not as combative, but more wanting to do lots of deals. So the Borg, with so many different ideas, so many different developments on the Borg, even to the now Borgs, they are so different to like Hugh, way different. Packlids, this is Mattel Westmore, yeah, ridiculous artist. Look, it's the Nausicaan. Oh, you got yeah, Paul Winfield, late Paul Winfield there. That is actually, you'll never know it, but that is actually Zeppelin Cochrane there, the actor who's played him. Oh, yes. From Babe to Alien. I think he played 3 or 4 parts in Next Gen. Well, you'd never really know him, because it was just behind all the makeup time. Deep Space Nine, the model on that would have been horrendously ridiculous to build, but this was an age that you still had models. Defiant came in as a model, but then this was the era where it changed from practical models to special effects or concept art of what ships would have been, which any of these would have been. That definitely wasn't. That's a Solar Sailor, Bajoran ship. That's a Bajoran ship. No, I don't think so, at least. Possible, but doubtful. So change the uniforms into more of an overall type, all in one jumpsuit. State, you would run a mile if you saw that. So new tricorders, standard and medical tricorder. See, lot of these now are practical things. So you got the staff, Grand Nagus. More phasers. concept art on a phaser, but a phaser rifles. Oh, that's what oh, the Klingon musician did in Deep Space Nine. Oh, I said the thing for the orb, Bajoran Tears of the Prophets. Yeah. But yeah, it would be some people call them squeeze boxes, some people call them yeah, self-sealing stem bolt. See, they do exist. See, a lot of these bottles on here are actual proper bottles we have or had, just relabeled. We burn Scotch whiskey. More pads, Never Ending Story, Voyager. It shows you the concept art of that's part there, and they've added on this city on the background, where they were and how, changing stuff. Neelix's very silly outfit. It reminded me very much of the Fifth Doctor, the Colin Baker one, where it was patched together by so many different things. Wasn't really keen. Now that was almost Voyager 73602. It's got the lower down slung, very much like a runabout, slow, sleek, and straightforward. He kept this, almost kept the saucer on, made it a little bigger. Back end, made a lot of the design elements exactly the same, but not the same. But then you got this over here. I think actually Mythbusters, is it Adam Savage, did actually see this, actually touch this, and this is all made out of polystyrene. It is not a very hard model at all. It is so light and fragile, it's ridiculous. But to get the level of detail on this, most of these have been the stickers being put on, but it shows the size of the scale on here. You've got two people. Yeah. So under the bridge, landing gear legs. These were more concepts. Part of the inside the caretaker's array. Dan Curry. Dan Curry is pretty decent on all this sort of concept art. Big picture, Star Trek on film. Right, this is my era then. This is my Treks. Memory wall scene. The people have put together a lot of this, and they do show it because it was meant to have been, Spock went out, got inside this memory wall to try and do whatever, instead of going into the opening and closing sort of and boost through it to get into the centre part of V'Ger. That was completely redone. But it was meant to have been Kirk. Oh, Spock went in first, but Kirk goes in with Gracely and Whitney with yeah, Lieutenant Rand. But he was attacked by these triangle things to call. It was an oddball sequence, but they have reconstitute a lot of it, but not all of it. Concept on the motion picture Enterprise. Love this ship. Absolutely love this ship. So self-illumination. Yeah. There's a lot of lighting on there, but there isn't. So all this stuff was like backlit from behind and not as much, no light blocking behind. You could do these parts over here by putting spotlights from underneath the sensor dome, same as the top. There's some bits that go up the nacelles, which the big 1/350th scale Enterprise does have a lot of it, but you have to be creative with some more of it. I didn't think I'd go through this lot, to be honest, but I am doing. Shuttle bay, cargo bay, everything was to the back door of the Enterprise. Which you've got, there's the back door, right down there, the back door comes in here, you'd land your pod on here, you'd have all this bit down here for cargoes, storage, these two elevators inside here, all this on the 350 scale Enterprise model kit from Polar Lights is actually inside here, is in there with the kit. You can make this, you can see this, it's brilliant. The starbase with the shuttle concept art, commuting in space, so lots of shuttles. I did do that shuttle, but there were two little models inside there of Kirk and Scotty inside the Klingon ship. Glimpses of Voyager. Voyager was so changed. Never knew what it was. But when they did the director's cut, they actually did a ship for it so you could see it properly. Different aliens, different uniforms. Still got all this to go yet. I need to start flicking quicker because this video is lasting too long. More parts of the original series, storyboards, been attacked, and this is the best bit, the saucer separation. This was before, way before. Andrew Probert designed this. or at least the artwork by Andrew Probert. Yes, because it is. And it would detach the saucer along this section here. That would where the lift going to go in. That section would slide back, and it would go down to lift shaft. Warp cores there. It would disassemble itself. But we always knew that anyway, because there was parts on the original series saucer. We looked underneath it. It was 2 triangles. The 2 triangles would have come down as landing legs, and then the neck wouldn't have been detached like that. Whereas Next Generation did it where it just completely detached itself. Would never have been positioned to land. It would have been to a starbase. But yeah, it crash landed on Viridian 3 as a model of the Reliant. Very, very much the Enterprise, but then expanded on. Took over where the next section is and put over extra parts there. So it looks like it could possibly connect to something, to tow. And you look, that always got me, that picture. It's the engineering section. Goes off towards, and then it goes up towards the nacelles, but it's forced perspective. It's not that long, because you had children stood at the inside here to make it look like they were real adults. So you got 3-foot children, make it look like 6-foot adults, but this room just went off and then probably beyond, I don't know, here would be the matte painting behind it. It was very forced perspective, very clever in what they did. Come back for Star Trek 3. Yes. I always imagine, because this is the centre column of the space dock, is behind here is another section of this, because this will have been sectioned into 4. So there's at least 3 more sections with starships behind that we never got to see. And the Excelsior there in blue. Do like the Excelsior. We have the Merchantman ship there, which was repurposed quite a few times in Next Generation. Space Dock, its evolution. And now you see Space Dock again. Even the Excelsior got an evolution as well, which we did see in the Edelmoss ship collection. We did get a few of those. I think we got 3. That's Christopher Lloyd as a Klingon. Dame Judith Anderson, the High Priestess. Yeah, cool. Now, is that a Klingon Targ, or is it just a skinny dog? His pet was not in the script. Creators with a piece of atmosphere, yes. The Targ was more like a pig, but if it's the original Targ, fine. If it's not, then story of the one with the whales. The one with the whales, lots of posters. See, that to me looks like a picture being stuck over a moving. It doesn't look right. Phaser from Star Trek 4. Well, for Star Trek 3. The ambassadors there at Kirk's. Drilling down. Full computer generated system. There wasn't actually the first CGI sequence that they did in Star Trek. That was Star Trek 2, where the Genesis wave, or Genesis, Carol Marcus doing the presentation. Star Trek 5, I think there might be something on here to do with the scenes that were deleted. William Shatner did do the directing on this, so it made it probably difficult to film. But Leonard Nimoy did Star Trek 3 and 4. They were okay. There's meant to be a rock monster that came out at the end. We never actually saw it, just all stuff. Oh yeah, I've got to go back to that one. Iman, David Bowie's ex-wife. There's a YouTube snippet, and basically says it's David Bowie being interviewed back in the day, and it says I think he said to an interviewer, it says people think it's really great being a big rock star with loads of money and being married to a supermodel, and he says, you know what, it is. I thought that's just typical David Bowie. Absolutely brilliant, but he was married to a man. The level of art. He got kicked in the nuts afterwards, but he actually got kicked in the knees. That's why a man says not all species, no, all aliens have the genitals in the same place. Love these phases. These I don't know, type 6 or type whatever, but I love the way that that part comes off as a magazine, that part slides out and get a mini phaser inside it. If anybody's got one of them that the Master Replicas did, please give it me. So concept art of the Enterprise Enterprise B. You have concept art of this part getting destroyed, but then they went, hold on a minute, we're not destroying the proper model. We've added these bits, blow them up. So the original model never got touched, which was good. But I'm sure these parts will have been disconnected afterwards, and they've probably been sold to somebody. More. Last part, there's a jumpsuit there that Kirk would have been using for his aerial skydiving, which actually B'Elanna Torres did. She borrowed the outfits in Voyager. Yeah. So more details inside here. That's Kirk's shack with guns around. Picture of the Enterprise. And the promo picture from Star Trek 5. Is that 5 or 6? Yeah, it's from 5. So preparing for the end. This goes as far as Generations. They never did one afterwards. Picture of Spot, strange picture of out of focus Enterprise, cool. And then it wasn't Belloc. Belloc was the bald guy, played by. Put it in the description below if you remember. But he's been in virtually every single Star Trek iteration since. So, but he's also Ron Howard's brother. Oh, so that's a Howard then. Yes. So, anyway, end of this. This has been a long video. I do apologise, but it's a brilliant book. Go out, go buy one, go get one. The Art of Star Trek. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Follow me on social media, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye for now.